Stop the FOMO and welcome to the FOMO Show about TV technology and home theater news. Today's headline spotlights an all-new rivalry that started last week and will continue for the next several years. Out of nowhere, the dominance of OLED is suddenly under threat. I'm talking about, yes, the 83-inch OLED is now going against the 100-inch LCD TV. In this case, the 100-inch MiniLED Hisense. And this is why. LCD TV technology has progressed to the point where the best, let's say Mini LCD TV from Hisense or TCL or even Sony, can come close. So close that, are you ready for this? Definitely good enough where when you expand the size to 100 inches, and today's video is brought to you by Whokeys. Trying to build a PC on a budget but don't know where to buy your Windows 10 software on the cheap? Whokeys to the rescue. Use my code SF20 and immediate discount. At the bottom of this order where it says code card, to the right is the product key you need to activate Windows. So copy this long number, then go to the Windows menu and click on Settings. In the Settings menu at the bottom, select Update and Security. Select Activation, then select Change Product Key, paste what you copied from Whokeys, click Next, click Activate, and you're done. You can download a copy of Windows 11 Pro with my discount code SF20 and bam. Now, you're thinking, wait, this is all hyperbole. No one's going to get an LCD TV over an OLED because what is the old saying? Garbage in, garbage out, right? What's the point of getting a large TV if it's just large, hot garbage? You'll be surprised how many people are buying up these TVs. And well, one of our own in the middle of a live stream, and this is perfect, 65-inch U8H, you got to go with 100-inch U8K. Just because it feels like a natural progression, staying with the Hisense. Look, he just added it to the cart. So, wait. Getty literally bought the last one.
Oh my God! I hope
it's
it
no
comes
longer
through.
available. It was available earlier in the stream. And these TVs are selling out at Best Buy, at Walmart. Before we get into the meat of the battle between the immersiveness of a 100-inch LCD TV versus the quality of a smaller 77-inch or 83-inch OLED, we start with LG Display and its struggles producing OLED TVs while producing and selling enough of them to make money. Specifically, this year they've had a hard time finding enough buyers. Now, LG Display is the company that produces WOLED for Panasonic and for itself or its mother company, LG Electronics. So LG G3, C3, last year's C2, G2, or the Panasonic's MZ2000, or this year's Sony A80L. All use WOLED panel technology from LG Display. The problem is there's not enough buyers. Well, not just buyers in terms of TV makers, but consumers like yourself. There's not enough of you with enough money to soak it up. The last 2 years, they've been selling pretty well. This year has been a struggle, so the losses are mounting. They need to boost profitability by expanding ultra-large screen sizes, which means 77-inch and 83-inch. Now, it's not enough to produce more of them, right? Producing more of them without buyers is no good. Specifically, producing more and selling it at a lower cost. Because it's one thing, oh yeah, it's large, 83-inch, 77-inch, it's great, but it's $4,000, $5,000, $3,500. Well, it's too rich for most people. Now, if they can produce enough of them at an efficiency and yield where they can bring it down by maybe $1,000, suddenly the volume will pick up again. But this also does not address a different elephant in the room. There are actually two elephants. The first one is, sure, make bigger ones. But did you forget that Samsung Display also makes an OLED panel, an OLED technology for TVs called QD-OLED, quantum dot OLED? This is the more current technology. Some say a next generation TV technology. Yes, the king of TVs this year, Sony A95L, and last year's king of TV, the Sony A95K, they both are using QD-OLED. Samsung's amazing S90C this year using QD-OLED. So this QD-OLED is definitely a threat. So LG Display is left with no choice. I know you're saying, wait, why don't they keep on making it better? They added MLA. At some point, you got to lower the price because, well, let's talk about pricing as we go through this, because I think you'll see a theme here. Now, another article from Display Daily, and they're more pointed with this headline: maybe less OLED and more mini LED TVs. Now, they're talking about LG Electronics, right? So LG Display makes the display for many companies, including LG Electronics. LG Electronics itself makes the TVs. So when you see the G3, LG G3, LG C3, A2, B3, that's a product made by LG Electronics. So LG Display is producing these OLEDs for LG Electronics. Here's the problem. LG Electronics, they are deciding what kind of TVs to make. They've completely abandoned mini LED. They've completely abandoned LCD TVs. Yes, they sell the cheaper ones at Costco or Walmart. Not very good. Expensive, but definitely not good. I mean, for $600 or $700, I'd recommend you go with TCL, Hisense, even Sony or Samsung before you get an LG LCD TV or a mini LED. They don't even have a mini LED this year, right? Last year they had the QLED mini LED. This year, carryover, they've pretty much abandoned the entire mini LED LCD TV stack in favor of OLED. For example, instead of selling a $1,000 LCD TV mini LED, they'll sell you a cheaper A3, A2, or B3, right? So they've taken all their OLED panels and they just graded it so that, the less bright ones will be charged less. So, at $1,000, there's an OLED for you, slightly smaller, maybe slightly dimmer. And if you have more money, you have slightly larger OLEDs, slightly brighter, but there are no LCDs in their lineup. And so here's the issue. They've limited their profit margins because in comparison to LG Electronics, which almost is resting its entire TV success as far as profitability and volume on OLED TVs, Samsung, in contrast, has a collection of OLED TVs, including WOLED panel technology that it sourced from LG Display, and its QLED and Neo QLED TVs, which are LCD TVs. This lineup, this roadmap of various TVs, of various sizes, of various technologies, gives them mastery over different price points and different sizes. Now, obviously, not everyone can do that. Samsung has this amazing scale, but LG has completely abandoned it. Even Sony, X90L, right? This is their entry level full-array local dimming with XR clear. It's a great TV. I have it. I love it. I think it's definitely competitive with the Hisense U8K and the QM8, both of which are mini LED with many times the dimming zones of the Sony X90L. But the X90L has such good software that it keeps it relevant. Well, that TV at 65 inches, $1,100, $1,200, there's a price point right there. So if you can't afford OLED 65 inch at $1,400 or $1,500, but you could just barely get to $1,100, you have the Sony X90L. LG does not have those little tiers for LCD TVs. And so this is why it's a problem. We're talking about profitability. They need to sell enough TVs because the margins are lean to begin with. So what is it? You lose $1 in every TV, but you make it up in volume. So obviously they're not losing $1 in every TV, but they're simply not making enough dollars. So you got to sell a whole lot of them. But let's dive deeper into the analysis at the Elect. The competition is intensifying due to the recent expansion of ultra-large liquid crystal display LCD sales, especially in the Chinese market. Ultra-large is this, the 100-inch U8K, $4,000. And people have bought it. As you saw, Getty, he bought it in the middle of our stream. And it's sold out. Best Buy is not the only place that's sold out. Right here, Walmart. So Best Buy sold out. Walmart still had it for the next 12 hours. When I told viewers like yourself, hey, Walmart has it, it sold out within 6 hours after that. And so now they're both sold out. These people are paying $4,000. This $4,000 would have been to buy an 83-inch C3. $4,000. You see, they, meaning the Chinese, they are competing at this price point. But rather than creating a superior image quality, they don't have to. They just have to get one that's just good enough. So if OLED is up here and mini LED is here, well, you know what makes up the difference? Size, immersion. For example, you go to a movie theater, the image quality at a movie theater, no way comes close to even the LCD TV. We're talking sharpness and we're talking contrast and all of that. But what it does beat the actual per pixel quality is the size, the immersion, right? The giant the giant surround sound. God forbid it's only in stereo. The giant surround sound of a home theater system. Okay. So you're at home. Now you may not have that expensive surround sound, but by golly, at 100 inches from 9 feet away, that's a home theater feel. As a matter of fact, many people who buy projectors for their home actually are only using 100, 110 inch, and 120 inch. Guess what's coming? 110-inch TVs are coming. Hisense has one this year that's sold in China as well as TCL. 110-inch TVs, although it's 8K, I suggest they make it 4K and sell it for a whole lot less. When 110-inch comes to the US, and it will, once they see how well these TVs are selling at a premium price point, give me the size, give me the processor, give me the image quality at the largest size you can get me, suddenly this is an issue. Now, here is the worst part for LG. Samsung is selling the exact same panel technology. So this S90C 83-inch, it's not QD-OLED, mind you, right? So it is WOLED. They sourced this panel from LG Display and they undercut LG Electronics by $500. They're selling this for $34.99. I'm thinking, wait, so Samsung responded immediately. This price drop happened the same week that Hisense released its 100-inch, dropped its price to $4,000. Samsung's like, there's no way people are going to buy our same price OLED. That's 17 inches smaller, right? So you know what? Let's make it compelling. $34.99. Now, there's a reason to buy the OLED. The OLED is slightly smaller, so it's slightly less expensive, but it's OLED after all. So yes, the image quality will be better. LG, still expensive. And king of TVs, 77-inch is $5,000. So as you can see, people with this money, they're having second thoughts like, okay, I understand king of TVs. I understand it's got amazing XR clear and all of that, but 100 inches, does that immersion really trump pure image quality when the separation, but how far apart is it? So this is something that many consumers, and I know you guys are enthusiasts, only QD-OLED for me. I gotcha. But your parents, your aunt and uncle, neighbors across the street, if they have 3,500, don't you think they would rather get a 100-inch TV? That's pretty amazing. I mean, MiniLED, LCD TV, right? So this takes us to Samsung's strategy. Now, first of all, Samsung Display third quarter is resilient. That's a nice way of saying it made a lot of money, including Samsung Display made a lot of money. Samsung Electronics made a lot of money, no losses. And Samsung Display is committed to QD-OLED, and they're making a killing on QD-OLED. But they're focusing on what? High value products like Neo QLED and super big TVs. Neo QLED is LCD TVs basically, but how do they describe it? High value products. That means high margins. So high value to us means, oh, it's cheaper. To them, they're selling it for more and they're making a whole lot of money because it costs them a whole lot less to make it. This is it. This is their high value product, right? 98-inch QADC, 7,000. To me, 7,000 is a bit expensive. I would choose the Hisense 100-inch for 4,000. That $3,000 difference doesn't have enough dimming zones. It doesn't have the mini LEDs, but it's a Samsung. So if you like Tizen, if you just trust the Samsung experience, sure, pay the premium. But as far as image quality goes, I don't expect this to be better than the Hisense 100-inch. And I think, honestly, the Hisense 100-inch U8K being sold at cost, maybe even below cost, because they want to test the market. They are willing to lose money to see what are American consumers willing to pay. And Sony has their 98-inch X90L, which is currently 8,000 or 9,000 as well. And I think they have room to drop it to 6,000 if they can. But next year, trust me when I say, once the Chinese companies, TCL and Hisense, sees the interest and the willingness for U.S. consumers to pay 4,000 to 5,000, they're going to come back hard at CES 2024, which is only, 3 months away? See you guys there. But that's the battleground. This is going to happen. And well, it's happening now. It's affecting sales now. If Hisense had more TVs available to sell, I mean, it's sold out, right? This 100-inch experiment, huge success as far as Hisense is concerned. It validated this assumption. The Chinese companies know that they cannot compete on image quality. Their software is 2 steps behind their technology, LCD, Mini-LED, not quite there to the level of a Sony X95L. And it's a combination of software and hardware. It's just everything taken together. And they don't have access to OLED at a low cost. So you know what? Let's beat them with pixels, like lots of pixels, like 100 inches worth of pixels. Forget 100 inch. What if for $5,000 you got a 110 inch TV?